Your dog did something weird today. You saw it, you either laughed or raised an eyebrow, and then you forgot about it. Here's what you didn't know. That behavior had a precise biological explanation behind it, and your dog has been performing it on a schedule that has nothing to do with chance. Welcome back. Hit subscribe before we get into this because what follows is going to make some of your dog's strangest habits feel completely obvious in hindsight. 12 behaviors. 12 things that look like nonsense from the outside and make perfect sense once you understand what's actually driving them. 1. Why does your dog follow you everywhere? This one goes deeper than affection, though affection is part of it. Domestication over thousands of years pulled one very specific trait out of the canine nervous system and amplified it: the drive to stay close to trusted group members. In wolves, that group is the pack. In domestic dogs, the group became human. Your dog's impulse to trail you from room to room isn't a personality quirk. It's the end result of a selective breeding process that made proximity to people feel like the safest, most correct state available. The reinforcement compounds it. Every time being near you predicted something worth having: food, play, attention. Your dog's brain logged the data. Thousands of repetitions. You didn't teach the following deliberately, you taught it every single day without realizing a lesson was happening. 2. Why does your dog tilt their head when you talk to them? Few things your dog does are more immediately charming, and there is more behind it than expression. Dogs have mobile outer ears that adjust to better capture sound, and tilting the head helps them pinpoint exactly where a sound is coming from while filtering out background noise. But there's a second reason that most people don't hear about. A dog's muzzle can physically obstruct their lower field of vision. Tilting the head shifts the muzzle out of the way and allows them to read your facial expressions more clearly. Dogs are remarkably good at interpreting human emotion through the face, and the head tilt may be part of how they close that gap. When your dog tilts their head while you're talking, they aren't performing for you. They are genuinely trying to understand what you're saying, and they are working harder at it than you probably realize. 3. Why does your dog suddenly sprint around the house like something has gone wrong? Nothing has gone wrong. In fact, everything is working exactly as it should. You might know this one as zoomies. The scientific term is frenetic random activity period. Dogs were built over thousands of years to cover extraordinary distances every single day. The domestic dog covers a living room. Energy accumulates in the nervous system with nowhere to go, and when it crosses a threshold, the motor system triggers a full release. It happens most predictably on low-activity evenings, after baths, and after periods of emotional tension in the house. During a zoomie episode, pupils dilate, ears flatten, and your dog enters a kind of controlled chaos that runs between 3 and 8 minutes before they collapse and fall asleep almost instantly. This is a regulatory reset. It is healthy. Your only responsibility is moving the breakable things. 4. Why does your dog pant when nothing is wrong? The cooling function most people already understand. Dogs don't perspire through their skin the way humans do. Panting pulls air over the wet surfaces of the mouth and upper respiratory tract, dropping core temperature through evaporation. That part gets taught. Here's the part that doesn't. Panting is also what a nervous system looks like when it's running too hot emotionally. Threat, excitement, overwhelm, the brain shifts gears and respiration climbs with it. The panting at the vet, the panting during a thunderstorm, the panting after you've raised your voice, that's not about temperature. That's a body trying to process more than it currently knows what to do with. Watch what comes with it. Repetitive yawning, lip licking, weight shifting. Those are the signals that tell you which kind of panting you're actually looking at. 5. Why does your dog dig? The answer depends entirely on where and how they're doing it. Dogs dig for several distinct reasons that have nothing to do with each other, and reading the context is the only way to know which one you're looking at. Digging in a corner of the yard while burying a toy or treat is caching behavior. Saving resources the way their wild ancestors did when food availability was uncertain. Digging shallow scrapes in dirt or grass and then lying in them is temperature regulation. Cool earth provides relief in warm weather that the surface can't. Frantic digging along the fence line is almost always frustration or boredom looking for an exit. And indoor digging, scratching at carpet or furniture before resting, is the same nesting instinct behind bed circling. Same drive, different surface. A dog that digs excessively is a dog with too much unreleased energy and not enough to do. The digging is a symptom. Address what's underneath it. And we haven't even gotten to the behaviors that most owners completely misread. Number 8 is the one that changes everything. 6. Why does your dog expose their belly to you? No bone structure protects the abdomen. No muscle armor. Vital organs directly beneath the surface. Showing it requires a level of certainty about the individual in front of you that doesn't come easily. When your dog rolls over and offers you their stomach, they have made a decision about you. You were evaluated and you passed. What most owners don't realize is that 2 completely different emotional states can produce the same posture. The first is genuine comfort. Loose body, relaxed tail, soft expression. That dog is inviting you in. The second is appeasement. Stillness, tucked tail, eyes sliding away from yours. That dog is not asking to be touched. They're making themselves small to reduce a perceived threat. Reaching down to pet an appeasement belly can deepen the anxiety rather than relieve it. The belly is only half the information. Read the rest of the dog. 7. Why does your dog sniff every guest in the most uncomfortable possible location? The apocrine glands concentrated in the groin area produce pheromones, chemical compounds that carry a dense packet of biological data. Age, reproductive status, current health markers, recent hormonal activity, emotional state. Your dog's nose resolves chemical detail at a level of precision that has no human equivalent. All of that information arrives in under a second. This is not inappropriate behavior. This is the most efficient intake of social information available to their species. To your dog, this is the introduction, the complete biographical summary accomplished in a single focused sniff. The fact that it runs directly contrary to human social norms is a cross-species translation problem that your dog has no framework to understand and genuinely no reason to care about. 8. Why does your dog eat snow? Cold air is dry air. Dogs lose significant moisture through their breath in winter conditions, and before domestication, canines in cold climates relied on snow as a water source. That behavior carries a genetic memory that doesn't check whether a water bowl is available before activating. There's also a freshness variable that most owners underestimate. Newly fallen snow registers as chemically different from water that has been sitting in a bowl for several hours. Your dog's nose detects that distinction clearly, even when nothing looks different to you. One thing worth knowing: snow near treated roads or sidewalks can carry chemical contamination from ice melt products. Clean snow in open areas in reasonable amounts isn't a concern. What's in the snow matters more than the snow itself. 9. Why does your dog steal your seat the moment you get up? Your scent. That's the complete answer, and it's not trivial. The spot you just left is saturated with your thermal signature and olfactory presence. To your dog, it is a concentrated sensory impression of the individual they are most attached to in the world. Settling into that space is, from their perspective, the nearest available substitute for being next to you when you're no longer there. The second layer is older than that. Dogs evolved as social sleepers. Pack animals rested in contact with each other, warmth pooled, bodies overlapping, safety measured by how close everyone was. The warmth still in that cushion registers as something familiar at a level below conscious thought. Your dog isn't taking your seat. They're holding the warmth. 10. Why does your dog circle in their bed before lying down? The living room is not a forest clearing. Your dog's nervous system hasn't received that memo. Bed spinning is nesting behavior inherited from wild ancestors who had to physically prepare their sleeping site before it was safe to use. Flattening grass, displacing insects, compressing the surface for warmth, reading the perimeter one last time. Each rotation is a safety check that has been running in the canine nervous system for so long it no longer needs a reason. It just runs. The number of rotations varies significantly between individual dogs. Once is enough for some. Others need a dozen before something settles. If the circling has become compulsive or is paired with visible distress, that warrants a conversation with your vet. The behavior itself, though, isn't irrational. It's ancient code executing in a modern environment, doing exactly what it was built to do. 11. Why does your dog spin in circles before going to the bathroom? It looks like a warm-up routine. It's not. 3 separate forces are operating simultaneously every time your dog circles before eliminating, and understanding all 3 changes how you see this completely. The first is threat assessment. Squatting is one of the most vulnerable positions a living creature can occupy. You cannot run, you cannot fight. Your attention is divided. In the wild, that's when you die. Circling lets your dog sweep the perimeter and confirm no threat is concealed in the grass before committing to that level of exposure. The instinct has survived domestication without losing a single edge. The second is scent communication. Dogs have glands in their paws that leave chemical information with every step. That circling isn't just visual reconnaissance. It's broadcasting. A scent signature that tells every dog who passes afterward exactly who was here and when. The third one surprised researchers. Studies found that dogs show a measurable preference for aligning their body along the Earth's north-south magnetic axis when they eliminate. The circling is partly orientation. Your dog is, in a very literal sense, calibrating to the planet before they go. You are walking a compass. 12. Why does your dog sniff another dog's private parts? This one makes owners cringe and intervene almost immediately, and almost every time it's the wrong call. The area around a dog's tail contains glands that release chemical compounds carrying a level of social information that has no equivalent in human communication. Identity, age, sex, reproductive status, emotional state, recent health changes. All of it encoded in a scent profile that your dog reads the way you might read a detailed profile of someone you just met. When 2 dogs approach and one goes immediately for that area, they are not being rude by any standard that applies to their species. They are doing the most direct and efficient thing available to them. The sniffing is the greeting. The information gathered in those few seconds informs everything about how the interaction proceeds. Dogs that are interrupted repeatedly during this exchange often become more socially hesitant over time because the introduction never fully completed. Let it happen. It is the system working correctly. If this reframed even one thing about how you see your dog, send it to someone whose dog has been written off as difficult or strange. Subscribe to our channel and leave a comment below with the behavior on this list that your dog does most. We read every single one,